Alright then. You guys ready?
I'm trying to open my can of cider.
Life struggles, people.
Condensation and metal cans.
Oh, they're the worst.
Yeah.
I heard you get into it though, so success. Alright then, I'm gonna say everything now. This meme of the day is brought to you by...
Rewind time.
by @DefShitPost. Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to Lads Discuss Death Battle. A bonus kind of episode, although we'll count it to our main episode. Joining me as always is your only mate who just had a fight with a cider.
I won.
And joined with me is a guy who's abused the the free stuff from Death Battle, Sean.
It's not abusing it if I'm allowed to have it. Also, yes, Warframe is actually fun.
I should, at some point I should definitely play it. But for now, we are not here to play with the Warframes. We're here to talk about the Warframes. And Raiden.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know, I'm weird. My profile picture on Discord is Will Smith smacking me. I nearly said Will Smack.
Hey, how fitting considering what the meme of the day is.
Oh my, that was unintentional. Oh, that's great. Unintentional funny is best funny.
Speaking of funny,
Yes.
this episode was funny.
Yes, okay, so this is technically a bonus episode, but I feel like, honestly, with the quality it was at, I think it's worthwhile knowing it as a good episode. I wouldn't say it's like mid-season finale worthy, but I kind of liked it.
But to be fair, you're biased towards Boba Fett.
Well, I mean, like, okay, like, even if you were to ignore, like, all my favourite episodes this season already, yeah, it was a really decent episode, and, analysis-wise, obviously, because it was treated as a bonus episode, Wiz and Boomstick weren't going to be their usual TV host selves.
Yeah, and so I compare this episode to the 7 Battle Royale a lot because it was the previous bonus episode. I think this is so much better.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed this more, although I have a bias to the boys, so, you know, I do love that
I feel
episode.
like the way they handled it this time, considering the boys one was filmed like 2 separate videos, was definitely like the better call to do.
And also, just like the way that was done and the way this was done is like, okay, so the 7 Battle Royale was like, okay, so it's actually happening around Wiz and Boomstick, but with this one, it's a simulation.
Yeah. Although, oh, sorry.
Try not to think about that too much.
Yeah, the Wiz and Boomstick lore isn't exactly stable. I'm pretty sure you could pick it apart, but we're not here to do that. Maybe in a separate video. Before we do get to the actual episode itself, I've got some comments from our chat. Some that were pretty funny. This one from Yang the Insane, talking about, you remember how she suggested Steve versus Dummy for a battle mode or death battle?
Yeah.
Mate made a comment, which I completely glossed over, saying like how one is holding up a show better than us. And yeah, she made a comment saying, ouch, mate digging into Bill's podcast. Yeah, thanks mate.
You're welcome.
Fuck you.
Your place or his?
Oh, we're not doing that joke again.
Too late. You already set me up.
Oh my God's sake. Anyway, but speaking of digging, the next comment is also from Sean, in which Starshock said, I like how Sean's not even reacted to Billy's bad jokes. Thanks guys, my self-esteem is being pummeled into the ground worse than Raiden's death.
Dude, honestly, I've grown used to it, so it's just I have to expect it at every
At least
point.
At least a chuckle would do great.
Sometimes, Bill, you understand. Sean is stupid, so a lot of times I don't get it.
I swear you just used that excuse.
I say that to everyone, and everyone's just like, Sean's not stupid. Clearly, I am.
Well, clearly not. Spoiler alert, he was right that, Excalibur won. But before we move to the episode, one more comment from Fireball RKO. Still the best name in our comments. Is it bad that while I will be listening to this, I'm going to be playing Warframe? In all honesty,
No.
Yeah, how is that a bad thing?
Because we're a podcast,
yeah.
it's like a background noise deal, which is fine. It's comparable to having music play while you're playing a video game, honestly.
Yeah, as much as we put funny edits in our videos, including the one where I get smacked by Will Smith, which is still my best edited image I've made this year. I have to give a shout out to Max for making me that avatar, because I've just used that for so many funny images and thumbnails.
I can give some behind the scenes stuff for that if you like.
Yeah, sure. Before we move on to the episode, let's hear some funny stuff about my avatar. Why not?
Well, it's more so the Nemesis part.
Oh, yeah?
Well, because Max is so used to, just, drawing people, cutesy stuff. So, Nemesis was, that was a thing for him.
Oh, Nemesis is just draw me like one of your OCs, Max. I dare you.
Now I've just got the image of that Titanic scene and Nemesis just chilled out on the sofa like Rose. Paint me like one of your stars.
I was waiting for when he'd make that joke.
It had to be the Resident Evil guy.
Alright then, so yeah, funny jokes aside, and thanks for your comments, people. We do enjoy reading these. They're sometimes good laughs, but also insightful at times. Occasionally we get the trolls, but YouTube allows us to delete those.
Yeah, like I did with one of my comments.
Oh
Hey.
god. I had to ask, is it by Carlos?
I didn't keep track of his name. I just knew he spoiled the episode that was announced at RTX and was just like, and delete.
Yep.
And you're just like, Thanos, snap, you're gone.
Yeah, okay, I was a bit surprised they didn't reveal the next time, but obviously Death Battle want to keep it hidden for a lot of people, so, I'm glad they're not revealing it.
And of course, it was announced at RTX, so I know what it is, and they asked, everyone not just, post all over the place.
Admittedly, though, I think that was a big request for the people from the internet.
Well, at least people are
But it was
trying,
people in person.
Red Runner, for example, I saw his reaction. Someone he was doing it with spoiled it, and he just censored it.
Okay.
Good on him.
Good on
Yeah,
you, Red
good on
Runner.
him.
We should get him at some point for this podcast. He's a funny guy. Speaking of
Maybe.
funny guys, though... Oh, sorry, Sean, were you going to say something?
I said maybe.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's get on to the episode. Excalibur versus Raiden. And Billy finally is getting some right in a row. This is a small victory for me, but I'm taking it.
Talking about how I've been doing, Bill.
I know, you've been doing better than... The only one you got wrong was Zatanna versus Scarlet Witch. But, in all
They all
honesty...
got that wrong.
I know.
But, oh my goodness, man, I don't know what it is. Usually, if I'm wrong about a death battle, I treat it like, whatever. But ever since I started doing podcasts, and because last year I was so good at guessing a lot of them, I don't know why, this first half...
I feel like last year, a part of it was because you had that pressure with that whole bet we were doing.
Yeah.
And now we don't have that. You're kind of more lax a little bit, and it's just you and Mate are now tied. Congratulations.
I know, but I know.
The only scoreboard I care about is us versus bros.
Speaking of, Sam,
Spoiler alert. We're
of-
winning.
All right, well,
speaking of, I do feel bad for Robuscus. He really wanted Raiden to win.
yeah, that was the only reason I was sad this episode, just for Proboscis.
Yeah,
I was also sad for Max because he wanted Raiden to win as well.
I am glad that Robuscus in his reaction took it very well, though. So, good on him.
Yeah,
yeah.
Unlike a certain person with a Death Battle, or not Death Battle, a Dragon Ball Z looking avatar.
Oh god, I saw that tweet earlier from Yang.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I was just like, do you think he still has that hashtag over his copyright thing?
Oh, the whiny man-child.
Yeah, the whiny man-child. We're not going to say their name, people. You know, we do respect people not to go out and harass people.
That is his name. Whiny man-child.
It's not his name, people.
It should be.
And as people, I swear to God, please don't start looking up someone with that actual name and start harassing them. I know what the internet's like.
We just make up names most of the time whenever.
I'm gonna go on YouTube and look that up, see if anyone actually has that name.
Fair enough.
There probably will be. So anyway, Excalibur versus Raiden. Good episode. I really liked it. And one thing I did kind of like about the announcers is, one, I love that Jocelyn what do they say? How do they pronounce it? Lofi girl?
Lo-fi.
Lo-fi.
If you want to do like a hyphen in between.
Yeah, which is, you guys have probably seen it randomly in your recommendation. It's just peaceful music, and, you know, it's something to relax while doing work. I was really sad to find out the official channel did get a copyright and had it taken down briefly, even though that's their own music.
Yeah, I think they're working on that right now.
Yeah, which is...
probably going to get that fixed.
Yeah, that's... Are they going to copyright Rick Ashley for never going to give you up on his own channel? Is this...
Probably not, but like... that was like one of the biggest references I spotted like after my first watch. It was like, oh my god, they actually did it.
Yeah, and I
it's
won't
just
lie.
like it's in a YouTube format, so Wiz is actually listening to that while doing his thing.
And I will admit as well, Dummy kind of looked cute just resting there. I don't know. I know I like to do trash Dummy, but honestly he did look kind of cute just chilling there. See, people, I can... Anytime Dummy's mentioned in anything, mate just has to beg this.
Yeah, that's something I should have asked at RTX.
It really should have been.
Dummy plushie when.
But I have to give one criticism, not a legit one. Wiz, what the fuck is with your PC? I have a better PC than that. Like, Jesus.
I mean,
how's he playing Warframe on that?
If anything, I think that's just impressive. The fact that his PC is so fucked up, yet it works.
I mean, all we see is just like the big like monitor screen. We don't know what its actual PC tower is.
I don't care, man. Look at that thing. Like, he'll be lucky enough to be playing like any sort of game at 20 frames. And he's playing Warframe. Bullshit's that, Wiz. Listen, Death Battle, I can handle all your logic, but that's 0 out of 10. Okay, jokes aside, I will admit as well, the dark human with boomstick saying he has like nightmares and he doesn't even know if his car's out there. I want to know what his nightmare was. Like, what was he doing? And how did he get
he was having a dream that he was back with his ex-wife.
Oh god.
Also,
there we go.
Another question I have about boomstick. So, obviously that's his pajama hat, because apparently that's a thing people like to wear. I'd love to see if people wore that during the heat wave we're having. But he also sleeps in his clothes. I know he's a redneck and everything like that, but come on, man. Even rednecks at least have shorts.
I mean, to be fair, he probably got dressed before he went out.
I mean, we don't really know what happened with his
dream.
He
may have gotten changed in his sleep. You don't know.
You know, I've seen sleepwalkers before in real life. I have never seen one just get dressed. That is impressive. I could barely dress myself.
Yeah, that's also a cartoon.
Well, I can barely dress myself when I'm fully awake. And yet, here's Boomstick doing it while I'm asleep. Okay.
What a shotgun leg.
Yeah, that's a feat. Okay, so one thing I wanted to do with this... Obviously, I did look up a bit of Warframe's lore, but I clearly missed the part where a lot of the characters, or, you know, the mech people you play as, had to kill their parents because they became savages that tried to kill them. It's like, I guess I missed that detail.
That took a turn.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that was, like, I didn't really know how to respond to that, really. It was just one of those things. I was just like, neat.
That's the neat part. You don't.
Also, that weird Cyclops lady. Damn! I know I don't usually talk about attractive people on the podcast, but damn, she fit. She can step on me any day.
The Lotus Mom? Also, Bill!
People call me thirsty.
Listen, I'll admit, I'm a thirsty bitch for that.
I mean, to be fair, earlier in this year, we had Bill say he wanted Harley Quinn to peg him, and also Wonder Woman to tie him up.
Yeah, I think this year I'm revealing a lot of fetishes. Okay, I probably should make this clear, people. I do just exaggerate that sort of thing. Like, I just think that this lady's hot. Before anyone thinks I'm some weird masochist. What's the word?
Masochist?
Yeah, I'm not a masochist. I'm just your normal Bill. Or maybe not normal, but you get my point.
That's fair.
Also, the amount of guns that Warframe... Like, I've only looked up stuff about Excalibur, what he was mainly known to be using, but... Damn, he has more guns that would even make the Doomslayer go, holy shit. Like, and he just has these on standby?
Yeah, a bit, yeah, because, like, every Warframe's proficient with them. And it's just like, some guy would be like, I have a big fucking gun, Excalibur. I have something that can just stop the momentum of that gun.
Yeah, like, and also he had a jetpack, which, to be fair though, if you look at Warframe's wiki, it is a headache to read through. So I've tried to stick to things that stood out to me, like his swords and transformations. Clearly, I only barely grazed the surface of what a Warframe character is like.
Yeah, Warframe is nuts, but it's had over 9 years worth of material.
And I can see where the budget of those years have gone to. Like, the animation, when they're showing off, like, this franchise, damn, it reminds me a lot of those...
Absolutely.
It reminds me of those shorts from Love, Death and Robots on Netflix. Like, they just look so gorgeous. I'm just like, I want this as a show, please.
It's insane how this is free to play with how great the game looks and like their animations too.
I definitely want to start playing this game at some point. I might even just download it just so I can get the free stuff that Warframe came with. Actually, do you know what? I think we might as well address this now before we forget. Okay, so yes, people, Warframe did sponsor this and sponsored RTX, but...
What? They did?
I know.
I had no idea!
Yeah, I have to
And you
admit...
were there! You had no idea!
Okay, I will admit as well, they did kind of, you know, hammer in that sponsorship. Even when you had, what was it? If you had, like, first membership, which, sadly, I don't have anymore. Yeah, I will admit, they were really honing it in, like, oh, by the way, this is sponsored. But let's address the issue with this, is that... For one, people, this wasn't dictated by the creators of Warframe. They literally just said, here's Excalibur, do whatever the fuck you want with him, just as long as you know, sponsor us. Like, they didn't decide we already kind of briefly talked about it in the last episode, or at least Mate did. Like, they didn't say we want him to fight Raiden or anything like that. They were just like, just anyone, really.
Just make it so people will play our game.
Pretty much. And I think it worked. I think they had a big player boost after this episode.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if I brought this up, but Liam was talking about this on Cast. So one advantage with this being a sponsored episode was they could just go to the creators of Warframe directly just to verify things. It's something they do with Red vs. Blue and Ruby whenever they come in. And so they wanted to double check this feat the Excalibur had, and the guys behind Warframe were just like, wait, no, we never did that.
Okay, nice.
They show evidence of him doing that, and it's just like, oh, okay, you did do that, never mind.
Do you know, this reminds me of when,
Yeah, the guys behind Warframe forgot what Excalibur did.
I think it's more like, wait, we did that?
Yeah,
That's actually insane how much math that is.
It reminds me of, what was the creator of Danny Phantom again? What was his name?
Butch Hartman.
Yeah, when he reacted to Danny versus Jake Long, and they're like, oh, wow, how would you feel about that field? And he was just like, honestly, we didn't really put that much thought into it, it just looked cool. I feel like that's the same energy. They just did not think about, you know, that feat. They were just like, oh, let's just have Excalibur freaking block a light beam. They're just like, that seems cool.
Yeah. You know, that's one of my favorite parts of the analysis. It's just, like, that scene with Wiz and Boomstick just arguing. And it's just like, yeah, here's this thing Raiden did. And by my calculations, that's 11% the speed of light. Oh, you want to throw calcs at each other? Well, here's what Excalibur did. And it's 9% the speed of light. Shit.
I love how Wiz is confident. I feel like a bit of Ben's, like, proper voice kind of dropped in there a bit. I know people say Wiz and Ben just have the same voice, but no, you can always tell there's a different tone when Ben's acting like Wiz. But a bit of Ben did come out when he was like, shit. Not a complaint, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I've seen some people have done it as like a joke, like Spectral Star. I thought the way he did it was funny. Like towards the end, he's just like, money! But like, if it's in like a joking sense like that, that's understandable.
Yeah. Yeah, and do you know what? I really love the banter in this episode between Wiz and Boozer. I'm not saying I want this frequently, but having them argue about things is always comedy gold for me.
Oh, or like how they were just like, well, I guess we'll never know who wins. Forever a mystery.
I was cracking up at that bit.
They're just like so angry.
And then it's just like, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Oh yeah, I can totally go for a beer.
Oh my goodness, I love the chemistry between those two hosts. It is funny, I do love it. Okay, but Excalibur was pretty fun to learn about Raiden now. Again, so I know we don't usually talk too much about when they talk about characters, we try and combine them into one. However, I will admit, Wolverine vs. Raiden didn't really sell me on Raiden's character, but I feel like this episode did make me respect the character a bit more. However, I remember seeing this tweet by someone, not going to say their name, but when I saw Your Only Mate's poll saying Raiden was going to win, oops.
Oh, God.
Go on.
Okay, so someone replied, oh, the Gary Stew, which I didn't actually know Gary Stew meant Mary Sue as well. I always just assumed Mary Sue was just that thing for both genders. So they tried to claim Raiden is a Gary Stew. Now, for people who don't know what a Mary Sue is or a Gary Stew, basically in fiction or in stories or even in real life, someone who's just like perfect. Like, you know, let's say for instance a character that can just do anything they want and there's no consequences for their actions. Now, here's the thing, I'm not too deep into the Metal Gear lore. However, Raiden's gotten fucked up quite a little bit and has also made a lot of rookie mistakes. Like,
yeah.
a lot. Like, he's fucked up regularly. The reason, like, when he lost his arm in Metal Gear Rising, like, the only reason that story even happened was because he fucked up his job. And he had to go on a quest to stop the people who, well, defeated him. But along the way, he's getting his ass handed to him, and then he has to resort to using, you know, Jack the Ripper mode, which, I won't lie, the backstory between the Jack the Ripper, very dark. I mean, it's Metal Gear, I should have expected it, but, man, poor Raiden.
Oh yeah, he's been through some shit.
Yeah, like, that's...
Raiden worked his way up. Like, he got a new body after that, too.
Yeah, he's not a Gary Stew. He was once a human. Now all that's left of him is the top half from his jaw. There's not much human in there. That is not a Gary Stew. That is a man that's been through shit. So I confronted this person, which I rarely do. I rarely like confronting people on social media because we all know how that can sometimes get. So they replied, I know what a Gary Stew is, because I said, I don't think you know what a Gary Stew is, because if you did, you'd know Raiden isn't one. And their really daft response was, I know what a Gary Stew is, it's the opposite of a Mary Sue because it's a boy, not girl. Well done, you got a little bit of it correct.
Hooray!
Then the next part. One Gary Stew example is Superman, the very being that symbolises Gary Stew characters everywhere. And well done, you just made yourself sound redundant. Like, I know this, I'm not going to go over why that bit's wrong, because, you know, maybe when we get another Superman type character. Oh yeah, then another response after that was, and I'm not counting Homelander as one because that guy's weak as Brightburn. Yeah, just, what was the point in even mentioning that? What did that add?
This is my brain after hearing that because it just doesn't make any sense.
Just house exploding. Honestly, yeah, because that is so daft. Like, don't get me wrong. There are characters I can admit are Mary Sues, Gary Stews. In fact, I would even dare argue Master Chief in the first two Halos is a bit of a Gary Stew. But in all honesty, let's throw him a biscuit like Vegeta does constantly, and say, okay, Raiden is a Gary
biscuit.
I say he is a Gary Stu. He's a badass one. I don't know many characters that can breakdance and move giant mechs around. Or throw a ginormous building-sized robot over his shoulders only to then cut it up. So I'm all down for this character. This episode did make me appreciate Raiden much more than I originally did, because I just thought he was an okay character, but no, Raiden was, I felt, and I want to make this clear, because I know people are hating on this because, they felt like Raiden was lowballed. No, I felt like they gave Raiden a lot of respect in terms of his power and character, which I always say is the most important bit of a death battle analysis. You know, hype up both characters.
It gave him more stuff than what he had against Wolverine too, so it definitely felt like an updated analysis for him.
Yeah, they mostly just gave him the sword, and they didn't really give him all his other weaponry. Not especially his infinite ammo pistol. I didn't know that was canon.
Okay, nor did I. And also, why do you think there's a bandana skull in Halo that gives you infinite ammo?
that's true. Even Microsoft respects the mad lad.
Yeah, so I found out the reason why all those weapons didn't turn up in Wolverine vs. Raiden. That was because Torian didn't want to.
Really?
Yeah, no, he just wanted to stick to Raiden's sword.
I mean, fair enough.
Also, Raiden didn't even need the other weapons to beat Wolverine in the first place.
Yeah, no, it was just all about the high-frequency blade.
True, I guess, a pistol, something that Wolverine shrugged off constantly wouldn't really add much, so I guess there's that. But no, I didn't think Raiden was done dirty, and people, look, if you really want to get mad that a Metal Gear character finally had a big loss, this doesn't we said this in the last episode, whenever that episode actually gets out, my bad on that, sorry, people, my human body is a bit weak at the moment. Don't worry, it's not COVID. Yeah, I did not think they downplayed Raiden, and also this isn't an official episode. We kind of talked about this last time. Bonus episodes don't count as official episodes. They've made that clear at RTX. They've done it in Q&As. So you know what? Metal Gear Solid doesn't have an official loss.
Although I also kind of want to joke how Raiden is the first Metal Gear character we've had since Raiden.
That's true, actually, especially if you include his DVX. Poor lad. To be fair though, is there really any other main characters from Metal Gear Solid that you guys can think of a good matchup for?
A lot of people want to see Jetstream Sam fight Adam from Ruby.
Jetstream Adam though. Jetstream Adam, wow, that's a combination, that'll be scary, but Sam hasn't really had much screen time. There is that DLC where he fought Armstrong, I will give him that, but he actually has less screen time than, I was about to say Sam Raimi's Venom, but no, that's not true.
Yeah, but here's what you do. Scale him to Raiden from the first level of the game. Dead.
Yeah. The other thing I loved, man, the memes. We know what they mean in this episode. They reference so many memes from Metal Gear Rising. Even the nano machine, son.
Oh yeah, they had to. I kind of regret not bringing that up in the 60 seconds thing.
To be honest, you had to
As soon as I said he beat Senator Armstrong, I should have added, and his nano machine, son.
Oh, that would have been
perfect. To be fair, the rules of nature thing I thought was more clever.
Yeah, and you also referenced, the meme of everyone punching Armstrong, it has to be this way. Do you know what's actually funny? You know those memes of Raiden just punching Armstrong with that theme playing? In that section of the boss fight, the music doesn't actually play there. It plays when he gets the Mirisama and they're fighting in the magma bit. So I don't know why adding that lyric to this bit's become a meme, but honestly, with all the shit posts I've been seeing, it's been great.
Yeah, and Raiden in the fight actually references Rules of Nature.
Yeah, because that's I think that's the most viewed song from Metal Gear Rising.
I mean, for good freaking reason.
It is catchy as fuck. Screw the haters that say, "Oh, it's a bit overrated." Fuck you. It's great. All right, I listen to that on my way to work. And plus, you could just put it at any fight where a character gets super overpowered and defeats the opponent, and it just fits so well.
Well, why do you think there's so many compilations on YouTube? Just rules with nature goes with everything.
Exactly. But yeah, I felt like this episode gave Raiden a bit more respect. I'm not saying Wolverine versus Raiden didn't, I should probably make that clear, but as someone who was a casual viewer, I didn't really feel that much attachment to Raiden. But this episode did make me respect him a bit more, and it only made me sad, when I was like, no, I'm going to have to see him die.
Hey, he went out like a badass.
He did, actually. He didn't get the Homelander treatment.
Thankfully.
Oh, do you know what? People also say Raiden can actually beat Homelander. Oh my goodness, I would love to see Raiden just absolutely just tear him apart with his sword. Like, that would be so satisfying. I think Homelander, especially after Season 3 of The Boys, I'm not going to spoil it, I feel like people just want to see so many characters kill Homelander, and I'll be down for just watching a montage of that.
Wait, so you want to see Raiden just, slice him to pieces in some Datsu and then just, I don't know, kick him and all the pieces go everywhere?
Yes. If someone wants to animate that, I will react to it. Although, speaking of reacting to, the actual fight itself, pretty kick-ass. For some people try and say, sponsored episodes or even DBXs don't really have a lot of, love or effort put into them, which is bullshit, I'm just going to say that. But
all I gotta say is, huge fucking props to Devil Artemis. My goodness.
He killed it with this one, man. Holy hell. I was like, wow, this is just a bonus episode, yeah. It's treated like a proper episode. It's got quality, it's action-packed. It didn't feel slow or anything like that. And it didn't feel too fast that you couldn't really focus on it.
I did get that vibe in some bits, but it wasn't that big of an issue.
Yeah, and honestly,
although I love Raiden's first line to Excalibur, where he's just like, straight to the point. No freaks like you usually have a whole monologue first.
Oh yeah, when I was looking through... Oh, sorry.
That is so fucking true.
Sorry, that's my Capri Sun.
Dude, that just makes me feel like I want to make a video I did years back, but where it's just a character voice someone else. It's like Excalibur, but voiced by someone else. Just because I want to see if I can think of any clever comebacks to some of the things Raiden says.
Oh man, I would love that. I remember seeing your one.
Oh yeah, I did Green Lantern, but it's voiced by Claptrap.
That was his name.
Because I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, good callback because I've played Metal Gear Rising, and yeah, Metal Gear Rising is one of those games where the bosses just have to give some big monologue. It's like, mate, you are aware you're literally about to fight me and potentially die. Let's just get on with it. And even during the fight, there was sometimes monologue.
Honestly, though, it looks so good with all the visual effects and everything. And the model, especially for Raiden, looked fantastic.
Yeah. So, okay, I had to ask, Devil Artemis, he's moved to Blender, hasn't he? So this was done in Blender, I'm assuming.
I think it was an SFM just because of the environment. It was blurred out partly.
Okay. I mean, even if it was just made in Source Filmmaker, though, still looks pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And
the scenes where they're running on the walls too was one of the best highlights of this.
Oh yeah, and they start bouncing back and forth, hitting each other. And the soundtrack, man, the soundtrack was so good.
It's kind of average.
You're dead to me.
I was about to say, Billy, you hold him down, I'll beat him up.
Well, I mean, we're not going to beat him up. I mean, unless Sean wants to.
Dude, if you did that, you realize Paige would kill both of you, right?
What if I make
I've got plush
Paige...
Blake, I'm fine.
What if I gave Paige a clone of you?
No,
what if I offered her
either.
What if I offered her 2 Seans?
Oh. Don't underestimate the person who calls herself my wife.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, so this fight was really good. Very action-packed. Okay, the moment Raiden was bragging about his infinite ammo, and I was just like, random. Okay, Okay, I do kind of question the logic of the Metal Gear universe. I mean, I know that's a big claim on the fact they have cyborg ninjas. But how does a pistol that fires, bullets, metal things, how is that infinite? How does that work?
Because of the headband. Not because of the bandana.
True.
Sure,
To be
whatever.
fair, there are other games in fiction like Borderlands that have that same logic too that I don't question.
Yeah, I think if I was...
Oh, I'm playing Paladins, that has infinite ammo, and so does Overwatch.
Yeah, if I was to question everything about video games or fiction, it would give me a migraine. More than I already have right now. But another little detail I loved about the fight as well, which didn't need to be added, where Excalibur's firing his guns, I love the fact the bullets are coming out and spreading on the floor. A detail that didn't need to be added, yet they did it anyway. Because I would have loved it if they did like the classic sort of thing where you can see it coming out of the gun, but then it disappears the moment it touches the floor. But no, Devil Armors was like, nah, let's at least, let's put in that extra effort. And
I also just want to talk about... if this wasn't a bonus episode, I'd have an issue with something they did.
oh yeah?
And that's when Raiden's blocking a bunch of things coming at him, the codec goes off and it's Boomstick.
Okay, that is true.
If this wasn't a bonus episode, I'd have an issue with that. But
Yeah.
and even then, this was funny. It was quick. It didn't interrupt the fight too much. It was just, wait, he'll never expect your secret weapon. Cardboard box. Okay, he's hiding in the cardboard box. Get out of here.
Yeah. Do you know, when all those claymores did come out, though, all I could think was Dave Chappelle's "Got you, bitch."
I was just thinking of all the times I encountered those playing Black Ops.
Ah, yeah.
It definitely was very funny, and then basically just like, he's definitely in the cardboard box, the Lotus Mom. Get out of here! And Excalibur just like, okay, I'll listen to the stranger I've never heard of. Oh, fuck me, there's claymores!
Do you know what, as well? Despite the fact Excalibur doesn't say anything, I love the movement they give him just to show like how he's feeling in that moment. Like when his gun runs out of ammo, you see the head tilt like an "oh shit, it's out of ammo" expression. And the moment he's about, like Raiden's about to head towards him in Ripperbone, his sword got broken, and he's like giving like some sort of confident like look as he's pulling out his sword, like, yeah, you've walked right into my trap.
Who activated my trap card? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like, and again, that could just be how I view it, but I don't know, I feel like that Excalibur showed off a lot of personality when fighting Raiden. Despite the fact not having any face or anything like that. Kind of like that sort of Mandalorian type of aspect, when your character doesn't show so much face, let their bodies be their expression.
Yeah. It is definitely like a good way to do it, especially since Excalibur doesn't talk. You definitely got to convey it more so in like the body language.
And like May brought up before though, Raiden referenced Rules of Nature during the Ripper mode, which, okay, I had to ask. So I remember seeing a comment like this on Rooster Teeth's site. Did you guys think just because Wiz was on Excalibur's side that they kind of made it clear that Excalibur was going to win? Because
Boomstick made valid points for Raiden, and like Raiden was technically faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, as much as Wiz is like a smarty pants, he has been wrong on, the show.
Yeah, and hell, even in Wally West vs. Archie Sonic, they have Wiz say that he was expecting the opposite result.
Yeah. So, just because, he was rooting for Excalibur doesn't really mean, that ruined who's going to win, because he's been wrong before. Same with Mars vs. Static.
Yeah. Speaking of talking, the voice acting, especially for Raiden, that sounded almost like Raiden's original voice actor at certain parts.
Yeah, I had to ask, was it the same one they got for Wolverine versus Raiden?
Oh, I actually have them pulled up right here. This is Mornell, and she/they were the voice of Raiden.
Oh, nice. You done good, Sonny Jim. Also, I just saw their pinned tweet. It's like Ace Attorney doing that meme from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, I've seen that video. It's so good.
I'm just gonna retweet that.
Like, they did such a good job with Raiden.
Yeah.
It would have been cool to have his original voice actor from Wolverine vs. Raiden come back, but I definitely think this was also a really good choice.
Yeah, I mean, there's moments when either they couldn't get in contact with our actor, or maybe they didn't think to get them back. You know.
And there was another voice actor involved by the name of Kathy Elizabeth, I believe, was the credit. Turns out she's also been in Death Battle before. She's voiced the... I think Bill has called her a gilf before, or a milf. She voiced Sindel.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that makes me think of that image I made years ago where it's just like, are you sure of this face? And then it's just like, well, I'm going to put Billy's avatar's face on Sindel's body because funny.
Hey, look, what can I say? You know, I like the muscular and mature. Because anyone...
Long hair.
That's a bonus, I guess. Other highlights for me, do you know what? The bit where Excalibur's jetpack came in, you know, pretty cool. And I love the fact that Excalibur just pulled out a big gun and almost looked excited. Like, yes, big gun! Because, like, Excalibur did not hold back the moment he got his jetpack and gun. He was like, nope, I'm firing fucking everything.
He's just like, you break my sword, how dare you? You must die.
He's probably got like 30 others back in his base.
And now Raiden's.
Oh
no,
my
that
goodness.
sword broke.
Wouldn't that have been so cool, like... I mean, maybe copyright issues, so they wouldn't be able to do it, but one of the loot from the Death Battle code was that it gave you like a red sword similar to Raiden's.
I think you can
That'd actually be pretty cool. Pretty damn badass.
I think you can actually color the sword, maybe? I don't know. You can color Excalibur, I know.
Yeah, like, I've seen the customizations. Gotta admit, like, yeah, Warframe has a really artistic look to all their characters and environment. It's like a mixture of Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings.
I'd also throw Destiny in there.
Also, what a death for Raiden, too. Like, he gets cut in half, explodes, and you see not just his sword, but I'm pretty sure falling behind him is part of his corpse.
Wait, hold on. I need to quickly rewind that and see, because I just got to the bit where they were doing
There is something that falls behind Excalibur, and that's what I think it is.
Hold on, let me actually just quickly watch this. Alright, so falls down. Okay, nah, it was just a bit of debris, like explosion, like debris. Okay.
I was gonna say, that would have been so cool if that was the case.
Yeah, you were half right.
Ah. I also really liked it that it's just like a high frequency blade can't cut through everything, but it can cut through most of the stuff. It's not going to cut through that exalted blade, I realized during the analysis too, because of what it said under it, because it's made of light.
Are you alright there, mate?
And
Yep. Just take up.
Okay.
Cider came back and was like, say something. But like, I didn't expect it to be... okay, so people were saying that this was a stomp, but it's just like...
Nah.
Not really?
Nah, this was not a stomp. Like, Raiden had some advantages over Excalibur. Like, even his sword, despite the fact it may have not been on par with his with Excalibur's sword, no, if he was to get a good hits in, he would land the win. Now, okay, this is actually what I want to ask you guys, because this is also said in the after analysis. So they did say it clear that Warframe characters, if they die, that doesn't kill the character that controls it. If though Raiden did win against beating this Excalibur, do you think that would still count as a win? Because I would.
I mean, because Excalibur is actually like the suit, so yeah.
Yeah, like, obviously, yeah, the pilot would be fine.
I'd say it counts.
Yeah, because, yes, you could, but then you could argue, like, oh, but, you know, they could come back. It's like, yeah, but in the context of this fight, you know, Raiden was clearly the victor. But, I mean, in an alternative universe, I'm sure. But yeah, like I'd say they did both these characters good justice.
Yeah, and based on the views and like the trending stuff, it's on the rise. And honestly, if we can get more sponsors like Warframe, who are just like, just use one of our characters, draw us money, and we'll sponsor you, that'd be cool to get like every couple seasons or so.
And all honesty, that would actually be great as well, because if like more franchises wanted to start getting involved, then yeah, maybe we'll start seeing other franchises fighting to get a role. Like, because I don't think we were going to get Warframe character unless it was a sponsored one. I know that might be me, you know, being a bit dramatic, but I don't know. I feel like Warframe's one of those franchises which isn't on the radar for Death Battle, because there's no main Excalibur. Excalibur is just a suit for multiple variations of warriors.
Yeah, we actually haven't had like that many cases where like someone reached out to Death Battle and was just like, "Yo, can you put one of our characters in?" Being like as broad as we can, that's only happened 4 times.
Yeah, they've mentioned this, I think it was during the Yang versus Tifa. They have had people try and reach out for sponsorships, but Ben has made multiple times, I'm like, alright, if we do this, I know, your character will potentially lose or potentially win, or they'll be forced to kill a character, even if they're innocent looking. So, and they've backed out saying, oh no, we can't have our character lose, which...
Okay, thank you for wasting our time.
Yeah, it's like, okay, then we're not going to advertise it.
It's probably just like the same thing with Warframe, and they're like, okay, that's fine.
I actually...
Serious? Yep.
I actually did find out, apparently, for Yang vs. Tifa, Rooster Teeth actually didn't pay the crew to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, there was no money involved, it was just a request.
Monty was just like, can you put one of my characters in, please?
Yeah, true. I do know about that tweet, because Ben even showed it in a live stream showing, like, you know, Monty just wanted his characters in, win or lose.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing people need to also remember, is like, you know, just because, like, a company or a team of people want a character in, they're not going to be, like, you know, insecure about, well, certainly the few that's, you know, pulled out. You know, they just want a character represented.
And in Season 6, that's why Johnny Cage vs. Captain Falcon was a thing.
Ed Boon's just like, hey, you do bloody murder, so do we. Here,
well,
do another one.
All they said was it was Warner Brothers just asking them if they could, like, just put a Mortal Kombat character in Death Battle, and, well, they had to replace an episode in the schedule, so they did that one.
Yeah, and honestly...
I mean, to be fair, that was probably the first episode to get on trending for Death
Battle. It was.
Yeah.
I think, at the end of the day, it was a smart choice.
Yeah, and
then we got the 7 Battle Royale, now this.
Yeah, honestly, I would be amazed if the people behind Mortal Kombat were like, oh no, we can't have our character die in your Death Battle. It's like, your game's literally about killing your opponent. Like, how could you be insecure about that?
If one of the NetherRealm devs were like this and Ed Boon found out, he would have probably been so upset.
Yeah, I guarantee you, like, because, like, that's why I'm not always sad when a Mortal Kombat character loses a death fight. It's like, I've seen them die in worse ways. Like, Sindel's death is like, I've seen her, like, twisted apart and then her organs pulled out by Ermac, but
NetherRealm was just like, let's take notes of that for fatality ideas, okay.
I guarantee they probably do that. They watch Death Battle, and Boone's like, write that down. Like, he saw Omni-Man versus Homeland. He's like, okay, can we get Omni-Man? Can we get Omni-Man in Mortal Kombat next? Why? No reason.
Let's make this a Kano fatality for the next game.
Oh, I can actually picture Kano doing that kill from Omni-Man versus Homelander. That seems like a move he would do. But yeah, people were saying this death was a bit mediocre, which I think given these two characters, and given the fact they're not really organic characters, to an extent, I feel like the death was actually pretty serviceable, because when you see, like, ninjas or samurais do that final slash, you do expect the other to just get cut in half instantly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had no complaints about the death. It wasn't brutal, but it was still a cool-looking shot. I don't really have anything else to say about it. Really good episode, really funny analysis. Overall, fantastic bonus episode. I might even just... I might put it on my list of favourite episodes when we do the inedible list. I think it was a good episode, even if it is just noticed as a bonus. You guys have any final say?
I will say this. I think this was a fantastic bonus episode. And again, huge thank you to Warframe for letting Death Battle do this. Like, I don't think we can state that as much because this is definitely probably the best sponsored episode we've got.
Yeah. Mate, any final points?
I think I'm good.
Alright then.